Yes, hello everyone, and welcome to the Talk Influencers. Of course, this is where we explore the mindset of amazing achievers. We share their secret to success and how the decisions they've made over the years have shaped, transformed where they are today. We are also committed to provide you with the tools and the knowledge that you need to unlock your potentials and to influence the world. If you're just tuning in, my name is Simon Odewale, and today we are going to be having JUMOKE or ALEOKE Malaki today on the show. It's going to be a moment of change and transformation for you and I right here on the show. So please don't go anywhere while we invite our guest to join us right away. This happens to be our 110th episode on the show today. It's been a long while and it's been a moment of change and transformation. Thank you so much for all the feedback that we have gotten over the years, of course, as a result of this wonderful interview section with our amazing guests that we have had on a weekly basis right here on the show. All right, with no further ado, let's invite our guest in so that we can just start this wonderful section with them. Thank you so much. All right, our guest is here, and we are just going to send a request to join us so we could just start immediately. Thank you so much, everyone, for always tuning in. I'm so excited to have our guest today on the show. I believe that he's going to join us right away. If you're just tuning in, this is the Talk Influencers. Like I said, this is where we explore the mindset of amazing achievers to success and how the decisions they've made over the years have shaped, transformed where they are today. We're also committed to provide you with the tools and the knowledge that you need to unlock your potentials and to influence the world. Our guest today is Jams, which is popularly known as Jams, and of course, her name is JUMOKE or ALEOKE Malaki. I am so excited to have her today on the show. There's so much to learn from her today, and I'm so excited to have her. She's here already. Hey, hello. It's so good to have you. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. I hope you can see me and you can hear me as well.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. It's been a while.
Thank you for having me.
I was just saying that it's been a while since last year. We have been planning to have you today on the show. Like, we sent a request to you last year, and we are so thankful that we have you today on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Hello, everyone.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you so much for the great things that you do. Thank you for touching life. Thank you for imparting life. We are the Talk Influencers. We do not take that for granted. And that is why we have, of course, chosen you today to be our 110 guest that we have had here on the show.
That's a significant number.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jams, for coming here with us today because of the Talk Influencers. All right. We'd like to start immediately. All right. Thank you, everyone, and welcome to the Talk Influencers. Of course, this is where we explore the mindset of amazing achievers. We share their secret to success and how the decisions they've made over the years have shaped, transformed where they are today. We are also committed to provide you with the tools and the knowledge that you need to unlock your potentials and to influence the world. Wherever you're watching me around the world, my name is Simon Odewale, and today we are going to be having the amazing JUMOKE or ALEOKE Malaki today on the show. Yeah, she's popularly known as Jams on the show today. Of course, we are going to be having her today on the show. So thank you so much for joining us today on the show. All right.
Thank you. Jams, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, James, can you share with us one decision that you made early in life that has made a tremendous impact to who you are today?
This will require a lot of digging.
Yeah.
So I think reflecting now, because I know I've had this conversation with one of my coaching clients, and I remember telling her that as a young person, my mom had to sort of prompt me to read. You know, they will bang your door and say, go and read. You have JAMB, you have SSC, go and read. Now, not that I didn't know to read, but I would do it when I'm ready. Do you understand? But I found that, with the way my career has gone in the last 13 years, I've been very deliberate about learning. So I was saying that to my coaching clients. You're like, so what changed? What really changed? The truth is, I can't quite place it. But I think as I grew in my career, if there was anything I was sure of, maybe that's what I'll pin it on. It will be that I just wanted to excel. And so if excelling meant taking courses back to back, doing certifications back to back, then I'll go for it. Now, it will task me, it will stretch me, but I knew that I wanted to excel. So, like I said, because you have asked me this question, you see, I'm having to think. So it's not that I had it readily to say, okay, this is the reason. I'm not going to bobo you guys. But I think it is that I want to excel. So what does excelling mean? Excelling means reading, staying abreast of what's happening in my industry, connecting with the right people, excelling. So I think that's the one thing, thinking about it, that must have made me into who I am today.
All right. Thank you so much for saying that. Now, speaking of excelling, you agree with me, James, that when you want to excel at whatever you're doing, there's an amount of sacrifice that you personally have to make to be able to excel, to be able to get to that goal. What are the personal sacrifices that you have to make to, on this journey of being to be excel?
A lot, quite a lot. So I think it was a lot easier, to be driven and to have a plan and try to achieve it when I was single. And I'm saying this to single people: before you are entangled, before spouse and children and all those other things, tied to you, when you were all by yourself, plan your time and life. Those are times that even after you marry, you look back and say, why didn't I do this one? Why didn't I achieve this? Honestly. And so the moment I got married, it was many things. So I had a husband that would want my attention. And then by the time the children start to come. So for people who don't know, I have 2 kids. I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. So I'm a mother, as in I mean mother.
Mother.
I am a mother, as a very, very mother. I have a son and I have a daughter. And what have I had to sacrifice? Increasingly when we talk about work-life balance, we have sort of come of age. A lot of research has been done, and we have realized that it can't quite balance. Something will give at some point. So I recall I just had my son in 2014, and I was going to write the HRCI exam, PHRI. And I remember that I was breastfeeding. In short, the exam was going to take me to Ghana. I don't know how I was able to, influence that. And then we had to do it in Lagos. I think something changed. And so we had to do it in Lagos. And then I was breastfeeding. So my son was with his nanny. And then I would drop him with the nanny, go into the next room, read, because my exam was around the corner. I'm saying a newborn, as in like few months old baby. Now, I had to do that. And so and that's why I say for people around me, my coaching clients, my friends, I say to them, I would take excuses from anybody, because me, I've had it tough. As in, so imagine about to write a professional exam while nursing a baby. I did my MBA while I was pregnant with my daughter. And that's the second one. And I've burned the midnight candle. So when you say what I've had to sacrifice, many things. Now, my family know that they come first. So that's another thing. Do you understand? So as much as I say, and that's why I said there's no balance. There are times that my career will be on the front burner, actually. Yeah. So I have to write exams to make sure I'm competitive, to make sure I'm relevant. That's my priority. But that's not to say that, my husband is any less a priority or my children are any less a priority. But one thing I've always done is I read a bit and then I know to focus on family. So when you say, what have I sacrificed? I won't say, because I was trying to get to the top, so my marriage crashed. That's not my story. Do you understand? Yeah, so It is that being deliberate. And one thing I always say to people is, I had a role model. So I had my mom who worked a 9 to 5 from when I had sense to when I got married. And she did well in her career and did well in her marriage as well. So I don't know if you get what I mean. That's where I'm coming from, to say that I had precedence. I had somebody I could look at. But one thing I increasingly do is making sure that nothing suffers. I recall that when I took my Scrum Fundamental Certified exam last year, I told the children, I was like, guys, I have an exam. So they're like, okay, mommy, it was a Saturday morning. So I sat in front of the laptop. The course was between 9 and I think 1 or 2 p.m. or so. Once I was done with the class, I took the exam. I know what I told them. I said, once I pass this exam, I'm going to see a movie. Now, that's me.
Balance.
So they knew that between 9 and 2, they need to leave mommy alone. So I was by myself in the room, did the course, took the exam, and I passed. The moment I passed, I just ran out. I'm like, guys, guess what? I've passed this exam. We're going to see. And we went to see a movie. I think it was Luca last year, if I'm correct, you know. And so we went to the cinema to see a movie. Now, you can say, oh, I sacrificed family time. Well, but I tried to make up for it. Absolutely. So yes, some things will take my time, some things will take my attention, but I will never be confused about what is important to me. And that brings me to, allow me to mention the wheel of life. That brings me to the wheel of life. And I always say to people, when I share the wheel of life with you, I wish I came up with it. I didn't. It's a global coaching tool. And the wheel of life talks about all the important parts of our lives. So it talks about significant order, talks about career, talks about personal development, talks about spiritual, talks about financial, talks about career. So it is telling us, talks about family and friends. So that's to say that these are all the areas of my life that are important to make me a whole person. So as an individual, all those areas of my life, I forgot fun and leisure. I'm sure that's the number one I'm supposed to mention. Because all those things make us a whole person. So as an individual, I make sure that when I look at that circle, nothing is lacking. And so when you say, what do I sacrifice? No, I won't say I give up my children, I give up my marriage, or nah. I am deliberate to say, you know what, my career is important, so is my family. Because when all is said and done, this career I'm screaming about, who am I going to come back to? My family. So they better not suffer. So yeah.
Thank you so much for saying that. I love the fact that you said that you were focused and you're able to balance those two things together. It's really, really important because a lot of people find it difficult to do that balancing and all. And I love the fact that you have been able to explain that quite well. And you mentioned about role model. Now, I will just dwell on that role model. Can you share with us one advice, or if that is fine, that you have received from someone that has made a tremendous impact to who you have?
Wow. I will share 3.
Yeah.
So the first one is my mom. You know what my mom tells me? I'm my only daughter, so I'm an only girl.
Kind of.
So I'm an only girl, and you imagine growing up with 2 elder brothers, last born, only girl. But there's something my mom always said to me as I was growing up, that you can be a successful woman. You can be, as in, and she says it in Yoruba. She will say, "Obirin shalalakija." I'm sure we know Folarin shalalakija.
Yeah.
So my mom just always says, as in like, if Alakija is that wealthy and she's female, my daughter, just know there's no limit to what you can achieve and how far you can go. And so I held on to that. In the course of my career, I've come across different people, and I'm grateful. I'm always grateful for the gift of people. But there was something that someone said to me, is my coach, and that's someone that really holds me accountable, Gwenga Totori. You know, there was something that happened about 3 years ago in my career. Somebody said something to me and was almost leaving me ruffled. And then what Gwenga Totori said to me was, know your why. You know, it sounded like, it just sounded like cliche. It's very cliche. But, you know, I just paused, and everything you see me do today, be rest assured, it's a function of my why. So it looks like, oh, we see her on flyers, oh, she's always talking, oh, she's always it is speaking to my why. I wish I was trying to be somebody else, but nah. I am, whatever it is I'm doing, that advice 3 years ago, I have held on to it like this. And so, like I said, whatever you see me do, know that it speaks to my why. The last one, I call her is from Mrs. Abimbola Olainka. I call her my sugar mommy. And she's, I don't know if you know her, she's she runs Gal Parenting, and she's a parenting coach, a leadership coach. And she came up with the peaceful model of leadership. If you've never heard of that before, you heard it from me. And there's something she always tells me about how I should always prioritize my peace. Now, I've done a course on emotional intelligence, so I understand the place of my peace, or the place of emotional intelligence. But this woman takes it several notches higher. You know, when somebody practices what they preach. I mean, if she joins this live now, when you are talking to her, you see how many there's energy, you will see peace in the things that she's saying. I mean, there's a lot of peace in her conversation. I learned it from her. So I can be up and bubbly, but I remember that if anything wants to contend with my peace, it can't happen. Because one thing I've also seen over the years is that peace is what converts to value that I add to people. That peace is what converts to money, because when it converts to value, value converts to money. So I've learned from her to always prioritize my peace. So rather than be caught up in drama, somebody asked me once in the HR space, the person mentioned a few platforms and said, "Are you on this platform?" I said, "No." The person said, "Are you on that platform?" The person said, "So who are you associated with in the HR space?" I said, "Jesus. I mean, Jesus Kakos." I don't know if you get what I mean. It is that my peace. Because I will enter one platform, drama, I know they. As they miss me with the drama. So let me be a lone ranger. I'm not a lone ranger, that's the irony. I have people in my circle. But that if it is going to contend with my peace, you will not see me there. So I hope that you guys remember. First, like my mom told me, I can be successful as a woman. There's no limit to how far I can go. Second, my coach told me that I should know my why. Third, my mentor told me that I should prioritize my peace. Can you say I'm okay? You can say I'm okay.
That is so good. Thank you so much, for mentioning those the key things. I believe it's so important that each of us and everyone needs to abide as well. You mentioned something. I'd like to say one question on that. You said you have the gift of people. I want to ask you this for those that are also watching us as well on the Talk Influencers. Why is it so important that one should prioritize your inner circle and people that are around you? Why is it so important to help you in your career, and apart from the career aspect, and also at life as well? Why is it so important?
Thank you for that question. And I'm going to answer it by talking about emotional intelligence. So I must say that when I took my course in emotional intelligence, this was 2019. And I was just curious. I'd seen articles online, but I was curious to know what EQ really was. And so I went into a class and understood the science of emotional intelligence. And four cardinal points of emotional intelligence jumped out. And and what it was self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship management. Those are the four cardinal points of emotional intelligence. And I realized that I'd actually been doing these things. It was just that when I got to class, I had a name to it. When you talk about relationship management, maybe my primary school is one part of my life that I don't quite remember. I don't have any friends from primary school. Very strange. But I have friends from secondary school. I have friends from uni. Secondary school, in my SS3, I had my school daughter was in JS1 at the time. Until today, she calls me school mom. She's married. She has 2 children, but I'm still a school mother. Now, I'm saying that this was secondary school. So I was in SS3, she was in JS1, and that relationship has transcended. She was at my wedding, I was at her wedding, her husband knows me, my husband knows her, and our children, are bonding. Now, that is a relationship of what? I graduated in 2001. That's like, now, so I'm saying I've always been big on relationships. And I think I sort of learned it from my parents as well. My parents they're like that. I've always been big on relationships. Now, I now realize that by the time I got to class and I saw that relationship management was a key ingredient of emotional intelligence, it now made much more sense to me. And so when you talk about people always make things happen. People say that God doesn't really come down to help us. He uses people for us. Now, that's not to say, and there's also the fine balance. That's not to say that you be at the mercy of people. No. We are not at the mercy of people. But it is important to have people. Your family, your friends. There are many friends that I've come to know that they're as good as family, actually. And when I look at every organization I've ever worked, I always take friendships with me. So I work in this organization, I'm there 6 years, I'm there 2 years, I'm there 1 year. But when I'm leaving with people. Now, I've done that in the last 13 years. Yes, I can mention them, but I don't want to put them on the spot because I'm like, hey, this girl is trying to loud us outside. But people are important. And when I say people are important, it's not for selfish reasons. It's not that, I'm going to be friends with this person so that they can, wire money to me. I'm going to be friends with them because of what I will get. No. when you know how to build sound, solid, and sustainable relationships, there's no limit. You know the doors those things can open for you. People are essential. And so when I say I'm not on some platforms, that's not to say I don't have relationships with people in the industry. In short, you mention my name to some people, they will tell you they know me. You will know me. You will know me. But I may not be in their circle. So for me, it is, and then it's a function of the value that you bring. So when we're building these relationships, what's in need for the other person? Yes, it's important that it's mutually beneficial. But like I said, don't go into relationships with people because you want to suck them dry. You can. People will run away from you in the end. They will realize that that's your strategy and they will run away from you. So in most cases, it's best to just come from I want to connect with you point of view, and we never know how that would what that will grow into. But you know, people are very important at work, and I don't believe in I just come to work. You know, I used to see all those comments all over the place. Don't make friends at work. Just come and do your work and go. I don't agree. I've gotten into organizations that there was a lot of toxicity within the system, and the people that were my friends, they were the ones that helped me stay sane in those organizations. Yes, up until I left. So relationships are important, and the impression you leave on people, you don't know where they'll mention your name. So relationships are important. Like I said, at work, at play, in school, anywhere, be deliberate. And we also cannot build relationships with everybody. So we need to be discerning. We need to be deliberate to wait, you know. It's not everybody that can be your friend. If you're friends with everybody, you're a people pleaser. Quote me, please. So not everybody can be your friend. Yes. I hope I've done justice to that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Of course, one cannot be a people's pleaser. So I'd like to ask you this, and what advice are you going to give to the 21-year-old Jams? What advice are you going to give to her?
You're saying I should cast my man back, like when I was younger.
Yes. What advice are you going to give to the
I'm thinking, what would I have said to myself?
Your younger self.
What would I have said? What would I say to my younger? I'm thinking, and I want it to be very authentic. So I need to.
That's fine.
So what would I say to my younger self? It will be that there are really no limits. So before I got to this point, times where that I sort of doubted myself, I was eventually able to come out of it. But I'm saying that I realized that I wish I knew the magic that I was about early on. Like my model of emotional intelligence, I say it is know your magic, own your magic, bless others with your magic. So imagine if at 21 I'd known my magic, you guys on this planet will have been in trouble. So yes, it will be that, you know, that there are no limits. As in, like, I wish I'd known my magic earlier on. That's the truth. As in, like, way early. But yeah, never too late. You know what they say? The best time to plant a tree was yesterday. The next best time is today.
Thank you so much, Jams. Honestly, it has been an awesome moment with you right here on the show. All right, I'd like to ask you this question. If you are given an opportunity to speak to the whole world for 1 minute, what are you going to talk about and why?
Wow. The whole world, 1 minute. I think it's back to magic. Yeah. It will be to just say that everyone has their own secret or unique sauce. When God created you, there was no accident. The way that you look, the way that you walk, the way that you talk, the career path you're on. Because if we were all doctors, all other professions, what will happen? If we're all HR people, all other professions, what will happen? You know, so, and we have different giftings. But I think the challenge is digging deep to find how to sort of harness that unique thing about us. So if there's anything I'll say in 1 minute, it will be, there's something special about you. There's a unique sauce that you bring to the world. Hurry up, dig, find it, and put it in a form that we can benefit from it. Because if you don't do that, you're shortchanging all of us. You are shortchanging every single one of us. You know how they say your blessing is tied to someone.
Yeah.
And so you need to, and that's why when it comes to the gospel, they will say, you know what, you need to take the gospel to some people. They're actually waiting to hear it. You need to take it to them. And that's how all of us are. There's something about each and every one of us that the earlier we find it, the better for. So imagine that I have over 50 coaching clients. Now, those are people that if I were not a coach, maybe somebody else will coach them. Or maybe they will never be coached to greatness. So my going on that journey to say, you know what, I want to be able to equip myself and help other people find their magic is transforming other people's career lives. And I'm here for it. I love to see it. So yeah.
Right. Thank you so much. All right. I'd like to ask you this, Nata. What are the things that you do on the weekly, monthly basis for personal and self-development that has helped you thus far?
I don't know about daily, weekly, but I am constantly, so I write yearly goals, and my goals are put into quarters. So I may not be doing daily, weekly. Yeah. I have quarterly goals that amount to my yearly goals. And for my quarterly goals, you know, and one thing I thought about recently was the fact that after I took the course on emotional intelligence in 2019, it was that I was hungry for knowledge. I was saying to myself, I'm hearing about the future of work. This was before COVID. You know, this was early 2019 when I was thinking about it. I'm like, see, I'm hearing about the future of work. Machines are coming. And I was like, what's that thing I can do that will make me different? That will sort of stand me out. And that even if the machines came, I will still be relevant. This is very honest though. I shared this somewhere recently. And that's why I went to get the course on emotional intelligence. And by 2020, just before COVID struck, I got a new role. And do you know what stood me out of all the candidates they interviewed? Can you guess?
Emotional intelligence.
Because on emotional intelligence, I feel like that was what stood me out then.
Wow.
And then I got that role, went into the organization, did the magic that I did. And then last year, I started my journey in Agile. And you know, a lot of people are reaching out to me, a lot of people are talking to me. And they are quick to say, oh, we looked at your profile, we saw Agile. So my point, what I'm saying here is, I am constantly checking what next. I'm not tired. When people say, aren't you? I'm not tired. The Bible says, walk while it is day. I remember, it's day, this daytime. I'm not tired. Do you understand? So it is that I'm constantly checking. What else? How can I be relevant? And remember, it is not I am not competing with anybody. And this is one thing I just always hope people get. It's not about anybody. It is about me and my career growth. So I'm checking in my profession. It drives what I do every. So I know the courses I need to sign up for. I know the things I need to. That's what drives me. So it may not be daily, it may not be weekly. I have to-do lists, though, don't get me wrong. I have to-do lists, you know, daily to-do lists. I'm saying, oh, I need to do this. But it's a function of the things I need to do to achieve my quarterly and yearly goals. So that's what I do.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Oh, I lost you for a bit.
Career advices that. Oh, okay. All right. So I was like asking that what are the 3 career advices that you can give anyone watching us right now on the Talk Influencers, especially the young youths that are watching us right now on the Talk Influencers? What are the 3 career and if it's life advices that you can give to them that can help them? Yeah.
Okay. Again, I will bring you to my model of emotional intelligence. Allow me.
Yeah.
And it will be that know your magic. And when I say magic, I'm saying what makes you tick. I'm saying even you're a finance person, you know you are good with numbers. You are a HR person or you are a customer service person. You like to solve problems. you are a tech person, you like to create codes that help to solve people's problems, whatever your magic is, know it. So that even your career path, you will channel it along those lines so that you don't struggle. So know your magic. The second thing I will say is own your magic. So it's not enough that you know these things. If you need to polish it, if you need to get courses around those things, if you need to get certifications around it, whatever, be ready to do it. And people should not say, oh, things are expensive, or courses there are some courses that are cheap, some courses are affordable, some courses are free. If you look for it enough, you will come across those ones. So I'm not saying go and do overtly expensive courses. No, go and do the one that you can afford. Some are free. There are a lot of platforms these days offering free trainings, because everybody, as the upskilling has never been a thing like we have seen it in recent times. Yes, so many organizations are sponsoring people to be equipped and upskilled. So please go and own your magic. And then lastly, it's not enough that you know what makes you tick. The amazing source and magic you bring to our world. It's not enough that you own it. It's important that you now bless us with it. And when I say bless us, I mean in the job that you do, in your interactions with other people, in the content that you put out, in the post that you share, bless us with your magic so that you don't deprive us of all the amazing things God has deposited on your inside. Please don't shortchange us, don't cheat us. All those things God puts inside you so that we can benefit from it. So yes, that is what I would say to any young person watching.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Jam. It's so good to have you today on the show. Now, if as round now, I'd like you to share, is there anything you're working on that you want, of course, people to know about, and where can we reach you? I believe that, of course, you're on LinkedIn, you're on Instagram as well. So I don't know if there are other platforms that you want people, of course, to go watch out, or what you are looking out for, and you're looking forward to do, so that people can just be able to connect. This is the time.
Okay. So yes, LinkedIn, it would be nice to have people connect on LinkedIn and Instagram with us. And this is because I'm not saying connect because I just want to grow my followers. No, I'm saying connect because I share valuable stuff. I mean, daily nuggets on Instagram, especially. Instagram is our headquarters. On Instagram, daily nuggets that can help people improve and thrive in their career. So when I say follow me, it's not because I want the number to get on to 100K. It is that I want you to come and get value. On LinkedIn as well, I think we share thrice a week on LinkedIn, or twice or thereabouts. And it's just nuggets again, things that can help people on their career journey. I have a few things that I've come up with. So if you check the post if you check on Instagram, there are 3 pinned posts. So I have one that talks about my model of emotional intelligence that I've talked about endlessly today. I have the second one that talks about the organizational culture framework that I came up with November last year. It will be a year in a bit, in memory of my dad's 70th posthumous birthday. It has gotten a lot of traction, very humbling. In short, next month, by God's grace, when it clocks exactly 1 year, I have a major testimony to share about what that tool has done for me. And I will share that. So yes, please feel free to go use the tool, look at it, read through it. If you have any questions, send me a DM. The third picture, like I said in the first 3 posts on Instagram, now lists all the possible things that Workplace with Jam can do for organizations and individuals. So from trainings, emotional intelligence training, career development, employability, soft skills trainings, authentic leadership, agile mindset trainings. These are all the things that myself and my team can do for you as an organization. And I thought to mention 2 things that I'm actually working on, like you talked about. So yes, my book is coming. I've been saying it's coming. It's actually coming. So, because it's to say that let's put all of this value in a form that people can actually, use. So yes, my book is coming, and watch out for information about that. And then last year I hosted African Employability Summit with another friend of mine, Onida, and it was well attended. We had speakers from across Africa. 2.0 is coming next year. So 2023 is the year of the Africa Employability Summit 2.0.
Wow.
Watch out.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. All right, thank you so much, James. It's so good to have you today on the show. Honestly, we're so excited. For me, I'm so excited, of course, to have you today on the show. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for the
Thank you.
wonderful
Thank you for
words that you
having
have
me.
shared. Thank you so much for the wonderful words you have shared. Words of value, of course. Thank you so much for sharing those words today because right here on the show. So please, people, go follow Workplace with Jams on Instagram. Of course, it's also on LinkedIn. You cannot for any moment miss the nuggets, value-giving nuggets that she's, of course, sharing right there on our Instagram and LinkedIn page. We are the Talk Influencers. Of course, we do follow her, and of course, we have not recovered from the ones that we have, of course, seen and read from our post. So thank you so much, Jams, for, of course, coming up today on the show today. All right, thank you so much, everyone. And until next time, this is the Talking Fair. If you're just joining in, please go follow us on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on TikTok, and of course on our YouTube as well. Thank you so much, everyone. And until next time, this is the Talk Influencers. Thank you so much, Jan, for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I saw a few people joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much, Simon, for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye.